So whenever you're throwing these big baits, don't be intimidated by them. Just because they're big doesn't mean that they can't get bitten. So when a lot of people think like when a bass hits a lure, it's only eating it. Well, he doesn't, they're not hungry, or they don't want to eat. That's not at all always the case with big swim baits or any bait in general. Heck, if you've bed fished before, you've learned that they're not trying to eat the bait you're throwing on their bed. They're trying to attack it, kill it, get it away from their bed. Now, I'm not saying that only applies for bed fishing, because that applies in their everyday lives. Bass are very territorial, so they're not always trying to eat this bait. For example, this is a big 9-inch swim bait. Really aggressive, really intimidating. A lot of people would be scared to throw it, me included probably a couple years ago, but I've really studied the way bass, you know, are and live. And yeah, that's a big bait and that looks intimidating, but that's good because it's intimidating those fish. This is standing out from everything else in the water. All these other shad, yellow bass, brim, whatever the heck kind of forage you got going on, whatever kind of big swim bait you're throwing, it stands out. Those bass, when they lock in on something, they key on something, they're seeing this, okay? And yes, sometimes they'll be hungry. And those big fish, whenever they find a school of fish, bait fish that they want to eat, they always look for the bigger ones to fill them up. You know, why would you want to chase a bunch of little ones all day when you can find a couple good ones and eat that and be good? So them big fish will key in on these. And this also kind of weeds out catching the little fish. Now this kind of style of fishing, you can go days without getting bites, get 2 bites a day, 1 bite a day, get skunked, that's just part of it. But most of the time when you do get bit, it's pretty rewarding. So don't be intimidated to throw these, because they're not always trying to eat this bait. It's intimidating. They're very territorial. They don't want other things that are bigger around. They like to rule the water, so to say, besides obviously to other, you know, predator fish like catfish, walleye, bigger fish. They like to rule their water. And so this, a lot of times, get put in their face, they don't like it. So they strike it to kill it. And that's why you don't always have them gag it. That's why you miss a lot of these fish. But it's worth it, because the bigger ones that do want to eat will pick out the biggest bait fish they can possibly find most of the time. They don't want to sit there and chase a bunch of little ones all day. They'd rather just have one or two good meals and be good for the day. They don't want to move much. And so that's what this is so great about this. You throw this, it's going to stand out from any other kind of bait or anything you can throw. The ice slide at 185 real quick. Gotten 1 bite on that. See that tooth mark right there? 1 bite. Missed him, but still. Gonna give the old ice slide a second to see what they can do. Ooh, let's just cram her on the rocks first cast. Damn. 2 casts in a row. I smoked this thing in the rocks. It's not good.